You guys go ahead.
What's happening with Kupp?
I'm not sure. I haven't talked to those guys yet, so I don't know.
Did you go see that? Did you see that?
Yeah, I mean, I saw he looked like he came up a little bit in a red zone route, and then I just knew they told me he was out for practice.
And given
I have no more information.
I know, but for not necessarily the information, but in terms of what you're trying to get done out here, when you have a star player like that leave the field,
you got to be able to move on. I mean, I hope he's okay, but I mean, we got to be able to go practice. Guys have to be able to step up, and obviously we're much better when he's here, and you hope he's going to be okay. But if he's not, we'll see what happens. But the practice had to go on, and that's what happened today.
Coach, what are you seeing in Byron Young's development?
I think he's doing a good job. Those guys are really young on the edge. Like I've mentioned before, Joe Caniglio's done a really good job with those guys. There's a lot of stuff going on. There's a lot of moving parts. You can see the physicality, the athleticism, the turn and run ability. But he's got a long way to go. And so just with this team, we've got a real long way to go. Today was not very good overall. I thought we were very sloppy, not sharp on both sides of the football. And so if we want to, continue to try to do the things that we're doing and take steps in the right direction, we have to be better than we were today.
Wanted to check on and whether it was a rest day for AD.
It was a rest day for AD. O'Shawn tweaked his knee. He's probably going to be out for a few weeks. And then with Ben Skoranek, he's got some back soreness, and so he was held out today because his back was sore.
How would you assess how Stafford has worked?
I thought he's been really good. I think he's seeing the field really well. If you give him enough time, I think he's making the right decisions. I thought he was pretty sharp in terms of where the ball went with accuracy and different things like that. And then, like I said, I think I think the film is always better to be able to go back and look at, but there were some times when we weren't handling our things up front, or we weren't where we were supposed to be on the second or third level with some of our skill guys. And so you need all 11. It's the best team sport that there is, and it takes everybody. So it's just not about one guy doing his job. It's about all 11, and I didn't think that was reflected good enough for us as a whole.
What have you thought of Steve McVay?
I thought he's done good. I thought he got tired today. I thought we were tired overall, but I do like what Steve has. I'm a big believer in Steve Avila. I think he's got a lot of ability. I like his mindset and mentality. But like all of these rookies, this is a different deal, and we've got to really condition and callous ourselves physically and mentally to be able to sustain throughout the course of a regular season. And we got to be able to push through on these types of days. And the easy thing is to not try to do that, but we can't afford to do that. But I'm encouraged with Steve, and I know he's going to continue to learn from all of his reps, whether they be good or bad.
Sean, when you have two frustrating days in a row, and they have a day tomorrow away from it a little bit, and then walk through obviously the week of practice, what do you look for the next day when they come back?
I didn't think yesterday was frustrating. I thought yesterday was reflective of what normally that first day in pads was. We kind of knew what the mindset and mentality was as it relates to, it was like an all-scripted practice, which is painfully brutal. When you get into these real game settings, and again, like it's one of those deals that there could be a lot of good stuff for one side, but if it's a gimme that you're giving up, those are things I want us to be better as a team. And so I guess it's the healthy frustrations of wanting to see just good ball, because I know somebody has to be able to win the down, and if everybody's earning it, that's what I want to see. But if because we're making a mistake in terms of our coverage responsibilities or our rush integrity, or because we're not doing what we're supposed to do on the offensive side of the ball, those are the things that I get frustrated. And I felt like that was too consistent of a theme, whether it be offense or defense, in different phases, and we had a bunch of different situations, but that's what we want. I want guys to be stressed. I don't want it to be perfect. I want us to be able to learn from these mistakes, and I want to see us be able to mentally strain through some of these longer days, if you will.
So what's the workflow on that, Coach, when you have a day like that? Is that done tonight? Is that done tomorrow?
Yeah, unfortunately, it's brutal that we only have 11 hours, so you got to, the to and from, so unfortunately, as a result of the CBA, I can't fix it until tomorrow because we started at 8 o'clock, so got about 10 more minutes of work that we can do with these guys since we can only do 11 hours.
All right. Can I just ask one final question?
Yeah.
Having been through so many training camps, and I know the bar is you want to be as absolute great effort every day, but it's not going to play out that way. So how do you, as the head coach, do you anticipate there's going to be days like this?
No, here's what I told them. I'm not going to apologize for having high standards for what they're capable of. But, there's a tolerance, there's an understanding, but it's the things that, there's going to be a lot of mistakes, Gary. It's the repetitive ones. it's when we get a little bit tired and you're not really thinking, and it's stuff that we've done over and over again, because we're still adding some stuff, but there's still try to be aware as coaches, like, okay, let's pull off, we can hold off on some of the latter parts of our install, and let's just focus on the fundamentals, the techniques, and the little details. And I want us to be able to stress each other on both sides of the football, but it's the good execution that I want to see. And again, that wasn't consistent enough. I have total understanding of some of the patience and the tolerance that'll be necessary, but I also have seen enough good things from a lot of these guys that I know that we can be better than that, and that's what I expect when we're back out here practicing in a couple days. Okay? Thanks, guys.